Chapter 31, Section 4, Marriage, Families, and a Baby Boom. The year 1946 was 1 second old when a Navy machinist's wife gave birth to a baby girl in Philadelphia. In Chicago, seconds after the new year began, a son was born to the wife of an Army trombone player in Chicago. For both sets of parents, these births may have been long-awaited and happy events. But for demographers who study the growth of human population, these births mark the beginning of the largest population boom in U.S. history. A marriage boom leads to a baby boom. During the Depression, marriage rates and birth rates had dropped as worries about the future caused people to postpone decisions that would change their lives. After World War II ended, the future looked brighter. In 1946, there were almost 2.3 million marriages in the United States, an increase of more than 600,000 from the year before. More people were marrying, and at younger ages, than during the war years. The average age of marriage in the 1950s was 20 for women and 22 for men. Many of these newlyweds started families right away. Older couples who had delayed having children also began to start families. It seems to me, observed a visitor from Great Britain, that every other young housewife I see is pregnant. The result was a baby boom, a large increase in the number of babies born in proportion to the size of the population. At the peak of the baby boom, in 1957, 4.3 million births were recorded. By 1964, the last baby boom year, 4 Americans in 10 were under the age of 20. Economists and business people were thrilled by the baby boom. Signs in New York City subway cars inform riders that your future is great in a growing America. Every day, 11,000 babies are born in America. This means new business, new jobs, new opportunities. The baby's overflowing maternity wards boosted sales for diaper services and baby food bottlers. Home sales boomed as young families flocked to the suburbs in search of living space. Factories worked overtime to fill these new homes with furniture and appliances and to put a car in every garage. Schools had trouble finding room for the millions of children reaching school age each year. During the 1950s, California opened new schools at the rate of 1 a week to make room for the baby boomers. Older schools added temporary buildings to create more classrooms. Other schools handled the flood by running 2 shifts of classes, one in the morning and another in the afternoon. Despite these efforts, large classes with 2 students at a desk were common during the 1950s. Family roles, working dads and stay-at-home moms. The majority of baby boomers grew up in the so-called traditional families, with dads who went to work each day and moms who stayed home. The importance of marriage and family was driven home in marriage manuals of the day. Whether you are a man or a woman, the family is the unit to which you most genuinely belong, wrote John Schindler in The Woman's Guide to Better Living, 52 weeks a year. The family is the center of your living. If it isn't, you've gone far astray. The belief that mothers should not work outside the home unless they had to for economic reasons was promoted by Dr. Benjamin Spock, the leading childcare expert of the day. First published in 1946, Spock's Common Sense Book of Baby and Child Care was a bestseller for many years. Spock advised mothers to devote themselves full-time to raising their children. Any distraction from that task, such as a job or a hobby, he argued, could damage a young child. The mass media reinforced traditional family roles. Magazines, movies, and advertisements portrayed the ideal family as one in which the husband was the breadwinner while the wife stayed home. The homemaker's role was expanded to include a number of jobs. A mom became a teacher, a doctor, nurse, cook, advisor, decorator, housekeeper, manager, and chauffeur all in one. A new medium called television brought this ideal family to life on screen. In Leave It to Beaver, June Cleaver was a stay-at-home mom who wore high heels and pearls while working in the kitchen. When asked what kind of girl her son Wally should marry, she answered, "Oh, some sensible girl from a nice family who's a good cook and can keep a nice house and see that he's happy." Jim Anderson, the sensible dad in Father Knows Best, calmly solved his family's problems when he got home from work. In one episode, he advised his tomboy daughter Kathy to act helpless around boys. "The worst thing you can do," he told her, "is try to beat a man at his own game." Such television shows taught children the roles they should be expected to play as adults. Children got the message in other ways, too. Toy stores were filled with dolls and tea sets for girls and toy guns for boys. Girls were given miniature hope chests to encourage them to dream of one day getting married. Children's books reinforced traditional roles with sayings like this one from The Happy Family, a little golden book popular at the time. The happiest time of the day is when father comes home from work. The strong emphasis on marriage led many young women to forego a college education. College enrollment among women dropped sharply, and although some women pursued careers after college, many others dropped out early to get married or headed from graduation straight into marriage. A professor at Smith College complained of having to cancel a final class with female senior honor students because it conflicted with too many bridal showers.